You right guys, hi, this is Jim from Gonzo and we're here at the Raindance Film Festival and I'm here with Aref, who was acting in one of the short films at the screening today. How you doing, Aref?
Good, awesome. Thank you so much for coming down here today.
Did you enjoy the screening?
Yes, I loved it.
Yeah?
I loved it.
Seeing yourself on the big screen it was a sold out.
Yeah, I know.
Screening.
It's a very good experience. My first festival ever, especially with one of my own works. So, great experience. It was sort of nerve-wracking at the same time and exciting and anxious, thinking what the audience is gonna react, how the audience is gonna like the film. So, yeah.
Okay, well tell us a little bit about the film and your involvement, what it's all about.
Sure. The film, The Professionals, which is written by Kal Jahan and directed by Aniket Alam, is shot purely in Bangladesh in a region called Shatkhira. It's a very simple, honest story about a father and a son and about two professionals. It's about what happens when Joshim, which is the main lead character that I'm playing, when he comes face to face with the doctor who crippled him for life. And that's sort of the main part of the story, but in that you have other themes like, social injustice, medical injustice in a developing country, father-son relationships, poverty, and at the same time about hope and second beginnings and about life.
It's kind of interesting you say it was shot in Bangladesh and some of the images were quite graphic and representative of poverty, as you say, and how difficult life can be out there. And you're talking about, you played this character who'd been through a severe trauma and it was kind of unexpected what was going to happen. You sort of think at one point this is going to turn into a bit of a revenge film, but it was about this character that discovered himself and learned to use his hands with the loss of his leg. Tell us a little bit what it's like to put yourself in that role. You're a normal man, you've got two legs,
Yep.
you're here, you're walking fine, but how do you prepare yourself for playing a character who's suffered that kind of trauma?
Where do I begin from? I guess as an actor that's part of the job. You kind of have to start, for me it's working inside out, outside in, for example, the main thing for me was to connect with the character on an emotional level. Because I don't have a son, I'm not married, I haven't had any massive injuries yet. I have two legs, sure.
Do you want to stand up and show
Sure, I can walk and move. But, so on a very personal level at the very beginning is how do I connect as a human being with this character? Because, part of my acting training is, teaches me that unless you really connect, whatever else you do is not going to work. So, personally, I think for me as an actor, the most important factor was the father-son relationship.
Right, okay.
And once I got into that triggered a whole lot of other things that I could use depending on the situation and the story.
Right, okay, so what kind of actor are you? A method actor? Did you spend a month walking around with your leg tied up on your thigh, or how did you go about selling us that image?
I like to think so. I mean, jokes apart, yes, I did. I was totally on crutches when we were shooting in Shatkhira. Even in between shots, I didn't want to get off the crutches because that would break the continuity. I don't want to sound like one of this actor, like I didn't take a shower for 2 weeks to feel like I'm a homeless person or whatever. But some of those things, you'd be surprised, do help. And personally, I think the more I can do things myself, the actor, the more I can connect with the character. So exactly, walking with the crutches, and again doing more emotional, sort of psychological stuff of losing a limb, so going to the details of what would actually happen if you have one of those big lumber, pieces of wood fall on your foot and thereafter. So yeah, as much as I could find out from the story that I could, imitate at home or in a safe surrounding without actually harming myself, I went for it.
Alright, okay. And also, every actor's or budding actor's dream is to be working on features, and shorts are often a stepping stone. But I always find them sort of more difficult, condensing the story and then selling the characters in that short space of time. And you gave quite a convincing performance in that short amount of time. How do you think that's going to compare, that transference from short to feature, and being able to build up a character that you can sell to the audience?
Sure. Hopefully just by word of mouth and by people watching the work that we have put up so far. I mean, there can't be any better way to talk about your work than the work itself. So hopefully through you guys and your viewers and people in general at the Raindance Film Festival to just spread the awareness.
Interesting transference from stage to set, from theatre to film. So how do you find muddling the two together? How does that work?
Very interesting. I mean, pretty much 99% of the techniques, tool, or whatever you call it, is the same. Acting is acting. But at the same time, like you said, it is different. The mediums are different. You can have to keep the audience in mind. And in theater, I guess you get only one chance, to do your best. There's no one to save you, to protect you. Once you're out there on stage, you're out there. But in film, I guess you'd rather... So it was also a very good learning experience for me from this project, because I've done a bit more theater, I guess, theater work than TV or film work. So this was one of my works that was very hardcore and emotional and raw, and at the same time, being for film, I had to be ready emotionally as an actor to be able to give it 5 times for technical reasons. Maybe the first take was great, but they just found that the sound was off, or something like that. Or the lighting was off. So stuff like that. I think it was a very good experience for me, from this film to be working here.
Right, I'm here with Aref Syed. He's a budding new actor. He gave off a very strong and emotional performance in The Professionals. You should look out for that to see some of his work, and hopefully we'll be seeing more of him. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And well done.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Best of luck for the future.
Appreciate it.